We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fair to say. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello, Aromas. This is Aromie here. Welcome back to Changeling. We're here with Corvin, trying to tell him to do his magic workness into our minds so then we can unlock our memories or find the lost memories. But he's not down, so it's understandable. You can't possibly think you're really a monster. No, but I'm not human, or at least not a normal one. To a child who doesn't understand what he's seeing, it could have looked like that. So that would mean he's not lying. In a way, it was more frightening than the sleepwalking, more frightening than anything else. I didn't know what he'd seen, but under the circumstances, I had to believe he'd seen something, that maybe I'd done something to him, and I didn't know what or how. Not knowing myself was terrifying. Suddenly, two big hands covered my own. Hey, are you okay? What? Are you giving me a hug? Hugs already? Great. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to be dramatic about it. I just wish I had answers. Look, once the pain is over, we can sit down and talk about it, okay? Sure. There are only a couple of minutes remaining, so I pulled my hand from what? He held my hand. I pulled my hands from his instead. Thanks for inviting me today. I'm glad I came. You can start having lunch there with me more often if you want. I wouldn't mind getting away from the crowd more often, too. Maybe sometimes I'd like that. I'll think about it. I mean, I'd like that, but wouldn't your crowd be upset? I think I'd really like that a lot, actually. Really? You don't have to sound so surprised. Today was nice, and it's quieter than the cafeteria. I liked it. Even Ewan was mostly pleasant. Well, don't be trying to get on Ewan's route already, girl. He can be when you get to know him. Though, I'd prefer it if the best part of today was spending time with me. Of course it was. Because I have to keep it that way. Ewan's the next route. I have to think really hard about that. You're still mean. So you say. Then maybe sometime next week. I gave him a sly smile. It's a date. You know, that's my line. I thought I'd borrow it. Just once. Oh, they're so cute! Soon enough, the day was over. Since everyone was busy prepping for Samhain, there wasn't much of a club meeting that afternoon. I didn't really have anything in particular to do, but everyone's concern over the upcoming holiday made me glad to finally get home. Not to mention all the talk at lunch about people getting eaten. I was looking forward to the holiday being over for sure. Chapter 4, The Wayward Dream. Ichiko? Ichiko, is that you? It's so dark. Someone was calling me. I know that voice. Corvin? Wait, Corvin? Why are you out here? I try to speak, but my voice sounds sluggish and weird. Yeah, that's how I feel my voice is like right now. Like my mouth didn't want to work properly. Where even am I? Is this a dream? It was dark and I could hear footsteps. Who's walking around? Michiko. Hello? There's a light in front of me. It was blurry and bright, so much so that it hurt to look at. But within the light, something else was taking shape. What the hell? A familiar head of white blonde hair. Corvin? When I tried to say his name, it came out as a slurred mumble. Why won't my mouth work right? Thank goodness. As soon as he spoke again, what the fuck did you just do? Did you teleport? His shape came together more clearly and I could see him almost properly. You can see me, right? I nodded or tried to. Everything was all muffled and far away. Where are we? I was finally able to speak through my voice was still weird. Though my voice is still weird. I sounded sleepy or drunk, maybe both, in a dream. What? I narrowed my eyes at him. Why are you in my dreams? I guess I don't get enough of you at school. Oh, you're so cute. Stop. I made a swipe at him with my hand, but my hand was all fuzzy and weird. I stared down at it, flexing my fingers. So this is a dream? I guess that's why everything feels weird and hard to focus on. I looked around curiously. Why is my dream so creepy? Where the heck is this? Our surroundings were dark, but I could make out blurry trees and shadowy foliage. It looked vaguely like the woods out behind my house. If the woods behind my house were in a bad horror movie with the cheesy effects. Somewhere in your mind, I guess. My mind is dumb. He just laughed slightly. The more I looked at him, the clearer his image was. He was still glowing though, like some kind of weird scarf-clad angel. Is that really my mental image of him? How embarrassing. Can he hear me? It's a dream, so technically he could do anything, right? Well, not really. That's physically his form, right? Well, not really physically. I looked around, kind of getting used to how everything felt. At the very least, it seemed like my body was working right again. What's that dark place over there? Everything around us was shadowy, like some sort of half-formed world without color or detail. But there was one area that was so dark it was like looking into a void. I shivered. Something about it felt off. Is that a voice? A finger of cold air gusted over my cheek. Ugh! And I leaned toward the patch of darkness, listened carefully until I heard it again. It is a voice. I couldn't make out what it was saying though, but the more I stared into the dark place, the more I felt myself being drawn into it. A hand suddenly covered my eyes, blocking my view. Corvin, of course. I didn't realize how cold I was until I felt his warm skin against my face. It was the only thing in this weird dream place that felt real. You shouldn't look at it. Why not? I peeled his hand back and tipped my head up to look at him. His face was troubled. I don't know what that is. A place even I can't look into. I don't think you should go there. You're even weird in my dreams? No, he's just being careful. It's my mind. Why can't I? That sounded a bit more impervious than I intended, but seriously. Corvin's hand closed on my shoulders as he turned me around to look directly in my eyes. Michiko, no one really knows themselves completely. Everyone has dark places and closed off parts of their minds. Sometimes it's best to just stay away from them. Well, it's not like I really wanted to go there anyway. I shrugged his hand off my shoulders, but the warmth of them still lingered even though none of it was real. I glanced back again, shivering. I definitely heard a voice. Hearing voices in my own head couldn't be a good thing. Then again, why the heck was I taking a dream so seriously anyway? Corvin looked around anxiously. Michiko, I think you need to wake up now. Huh? He backed away, fainting slightly. I reached out to him as the cold swept back in. What, Corvin? He vanished completely from sight, leaving me in the dark. Cor? Wake up! I jolted awake at that. Fuck, I'm outside. Not in my bed. I probably should have expected that. As I willed my heart rate to return to normal, I tried to get my bearings. Outside? Check. Pretty much in the woods? Check. The only thing that was missing was Spencer jumping out of the bushes and yelling, "Aha!" I probably should have been more concerned, but I was mostly just confused. That hadn't been at all like my usual sleepwalking dream. Usually they didn't feature other people, much less Corvin being all glowy and weird. My face heated slightly. What the heck was I dreaming about? I glanced up at the sky, relieved that it was still dark, which meant I had time to sneak back inside. Something in a tree nearby caught my eye, a white shape nestled in the branches above. Oh, isn't that Corvin? A white crow. I'd never seen one before. It stood out starkly in the dark. Why is a crow wandering around at night? I was pretty sure they weren't nocturnal. We stared at each other for a long time. He was just sitting there with his head cocked to the side, peering down at me. Well, I didn't know it was a he, really. I had no idea how to tell male and female crows apart. Okay. The bird squawked suddenly and took off in a whirl of feathers and beating wings. I traced his path into the forest until he disappeared beneath the low-hanging branches of the trees. And that's when I noticed something else was there. It was a small, pale shape huddled in the foliage of the... Wait, what? A small, pale shape huddled in the foliage at the foot of the trees. Most of it was obscured, but it looked sort of hunched and cat-like. A pair of eyes gleamed at me from behind the leaves. Oh crap. Definitely some kind of animal and looked bigger than a rabbit or squirrel for sure. Why did you lead me to this? I backed up slowly, keeping an eye on it. It shifted, the underbrush crackling at the subtle movement. Time to go! I gave up on backing away slowly and just turned to flee back up the hill. Fortunately, the house wasn't that far away. I scrambled up the back slope to the gate. The telltale crackle of pursuit behind spurred me to move faster. Whatever was grabbling through the brush after me sounded bigger than I'd initially thought. Not massive like a bear, but big enough to worry about, like a bobcat or a coyote. What the fuck? I reached the top and slammed the gate shut behind me as I ran across the backyard toward the house, trying to ignore the abuse on my poor bare feet. I was nearly to the door when I heard the gate swing open behind me. My heart nearly leapt from my throat as my feet finally hit the back porch. How did it open the gate? I fumbled with the knob, yanking the door open in a panic and practically leaping through. Am I gonna turn around and see? I'm gonna have to see who it is, right? When I'm closing the door, the front porch door or whatever, back porch. I kicked it shut behind me and lashed it, pressing my back to it as I tried to catch my breath. What the fuck? Seconds later, something smashed into it, rattling the window with the force of the impact. Holy crap. Heart pounding and legs shaking, I peered outside. I didn't know what I expected to see. Maybe a raptor trying to figure out how to work the knob. But there was nothing, at least not at eye level. Something was snuffling around at the base of the door, but at my angle I couldn't see it. I cupped my hands around my face, pressing against the glass as I strained to look down at it. I finally caught some movement, but not enough to tell what it was. I saw just a flink as whatever it was slinked away. It was pale, lanky, and nowhere near as big as it had sounded. It also looked hairless, weirdly. Ew, was this our blob, an old lady version in this game? Ew, whatever it is does not sound good. I'd rather have the blob back. I couldn't help but think about what the others had said about magic currents and more creatures drifting into town, or other creatures becoming more active. What if it wasn't even a normal animal? I hadn't really thought about that while it was chasing me, but that was scary. Whatever it was has hands to open the door. I had to start working out a way to keep myself in my room at night. I tried locking my door, but that definitely didn't help. Or am I even so determined to go every night? There was a soft noise behind me. I whirled around, heart thundering again. It was Spencer, just standing there staring. What are you doing? Nothing. Were you outside? I heard the door. Yeah, just getting fresh air. What's wrong? Should I be honest? Should I be honest? I just heard something outside? That's all. Heard what? I don't know, it's the kind of animal. It came up on the back porch, then ran off. Spencer came toward me, peering outside with a frown on his face. Why is the gate open? I don't know. Guess someone left it open earlier. It gave me a long look. I shifted uncomfortably but held his gaze. He definitely knew something was going on. I didn't know if I was waking him up when I got up that night, or if he was just watching me. Either way, it was a problem. We should go back to bed before Mom catches us. I was surprised he was just going to leave it at that, but was still glad. Maybe he was watching the entire time. He was just seeing if I was going to lie or not. I didn't lie, okay? Just saying, I didn't lie. This was not the place for the truth to come out, but that discussion was definitely coming. Probably sooner rather than later. He clearly knew something was going on. He probably had sense to start. Man, I suck at keeping secrets. That's literally what Tyler tells me, that I suck at keeping secrets, because I cannot keep any of his Christmas presents a secret, only because I can't lie to him, and because most of the gifts, we somehow magically run into it in physical real life. Because one of his gifts, he would not have ever seen, and for some oddball reason, the universe wanted him to see it in person. And then he's like, oh, I really wanted this. And then he looks at me and he's like, I'm gonna buy it. And then I'm like, no, you shouldn't. The universe is not like me keeping secrets. Weirdly, that thought made me wonder what my secret looked like. The one I'd seen before had looked like a cat. To me anyway. Did they all look the same? Was each one different? I yawned and cast another look at the door. Whatever had chased me was gone, but still, that was worrying. There were weird wild animals in the area, not to mention all the other cryptics that were apparently going to be in town due to Samhain, and all that madness. It had probably only been a matter of time before I encountered something dangerous. I chewed my lip as I went back upstairs. I fell into bed gratefully, feet still stinging from the cold. I should probably have a look at them, but I was tired. Letting out a long, slow breath, I rolled over and grabbed my pillow. I wonder if I should tell someone about the sleepwalking thing, or maybe I should just double down and focus on this for a while until I found a solution. I think Corvin's gonna talk to me about the whole situation. I didn't want to trouble Allie with it when she had her internship and other things to worry about, but it was getting to the point that I couldn't handle it alone. That was the last thought when I finally drifted off to sleep. After a quiet breakfast and a small list of morning chores, lovingly handed out by my mom, I went straight outside to see if I could find any evidence at all that might give me a hint as to what chased me the night before. Part of me was quietly reminding myself what tended to happen when I tried to take a closer look at something mysterious. Most of me was lulled into a sense of safety by the daylight. Bad things tended to happen at night, not mid-morning. On the back porch, there was zero evidence anything out of the ordinary had happened. No scratches, no back damage to the door. There also weren't any visible tracks in the yard, though I had to admit my tracking skills weren't exactly at expert level. But I still went down the back porch to the trees to see if I could find anything down there. Nothing. Not that I had really expected to find anything, but for my sanity, I really needed to look. It was probably silly. If it wasn't a normal animal, it might not even leave tracks. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it was just a big cranky raccoon that could open doors, apparently. I didn't think it was, though. I hadn't gotten a great look at whatever it was, but it had seemed too lanky. Ew! I let myself back through the gate and shut it carefully. The sound of the automatic latch clicking made me wonder again just how the thing last night had gotten through it. Some wild animals were pretty clever, but ugh. Technically, it was pretty tall. It could just climb over this. I clearly wasn't going to figure it out by looking around. Sherlock would have been disappointed in my complete lack of detective skills, that was certain. I headed back inside and started upstairs. The more pressing issue at hand was what to do about the sleepwalking. It wouldn't matter what was lurking around out there. If I was staying inside properly at night, so that was going to be the first order of business. Oh, hi Spencer, what the fuck you doing in my room? I stopped short when I reached my door and realized Spencer was standing just inside my bedroom with his back to me. Sneak up and scare him. Let's do that. Oh, in the next episode, I'm gonna do the sneak up and scare him. Because you know what? He scares us all the time. So we're gonna do it to him. So I do thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
touch it, touch it.